Hello, my name is Rosanna Doro, Rai for short, and you're welcome to Read Time with Rai. Thank you for joining me for another episode today. We will be talking in this episode about sexual dysfunction because I told us this series it's about the quarantine, and a lot of couples are having, when I say couples I mean people legally married, okay? I don't mean cohabitation, especially in this particular topic, not cohabitation. And so this quarantine you're forced to be with your partner and all, and of course most of the time when people are couples are like in this kind of lockdown or in quarantine, or even without the quarantine, of course sex is a healthy thing among couples, and so it must take place. But we find out that in this time of quarantine there's a lot of sexual dysfunction, either sexual dysfunction or sexual displeasure or discrepancy happening among couples. And you find out that one couple, there's no, somebody was asking of recent that, okay, so how many times are couples supposed to have sex or engage in intimacy? And there's no formula. Some people say once a week, some people say at least in a year 54 times, that's once a week. Some people say twice a week is best, some say thrice a week, some say every day. It depends on the individuals involved. Now, sexual discrepancy comes in when one person has a higher libido than the other. One person is interested in sex and the other person is not interested. Now, we must know that for men, what they see causes arousal or makes them want to engage in sexual intimacy with their partners. But for ladies, a lot of things go on. It's more psychological for the lady, and so how she feels about her body matters. If she is just coming out of pregnancy matters, because some pregnancy drugs affect the urge or the love for sex. It makes it decrease in a woman. And some women, because of the way upbringing in some homes, especially if you're in Nigerian, it's like a taboo. You can't talk about sex, you can't no sexual education was given. In fact, you're not even allowed to have a boyfriend, but after school and everything, they expect you to now bring a husband home and all that. So it is all these things affect the how comfortable a woman is, or how she would explore her body sexually. And if you are with a partner where you can't talk, maybe because I was doing some research and I found that what really affects couples sexually is like so much age discrepancy, where maybe the person is sort of like the lady's father. It's a problem. She can't talk about it. She can't say what she likes or what she doesn't like. As regards, sometimes even leads to sexual abuse. We'll talk about that in another video. But for this video, I want to talk about what causes these issues, and that's what I've been outlining so far. Couples must talk, and I understand that preferences change from the beginning of a marital relationship. Let's say everybody's libido was high, or everybody enjoys sex and all, and then stuff's happened in the marriage, maybe cheating from a partner. For some women, that that was a breach of trust. It would be a problem to pick up again. For some, or even for some men who are unforgiving and who are saying, no, you hurt me, you betrayed me, to pick up again will be a problem. For some people, after childbirth, they don't feel sexy anymore. They don't feel that they're beautiful anymore, so they really don't want to engage in such acts. Some are actually so busy, maybe with work, with kids, with career, with so many things, that they don't give attention to that. And it's very important that you give attention to your spouse, because intimacy was actually put there by God, and it creates fondness, it creates bond, even health-wise, it helps. Okay, so for some people too, the reason why they're having this sexual thing is change of orientation. Some people begin to like certain things that they were not liking initially. Anybody who has followed me would always know that I say talk and talk in your relationship. And let's say you talked, and okay, now this sexual discrepancy or problem or displeasure, I'm talking about a male and female partner, not heterosexual partners, yes. So and let's say along the line your partner's orientation about sex changes, or it doesn't change completely, but the person starts loving some things, maybe starts loving fetish, wants to flog you first before he will be happy, or he will enjoy sex. He must be beaten, flogged, handcuffed, so many fetish things. Now you have to discuss. See, I won't come out right and say, oh, fetish is terrible. I personally won't engage in it. But if both partners are okay with it, then you see, that's why I said to each their own. You cannot force a person and say, oh no, this is how it ought to be sexually. This, no. Every partner must talk with their partner and find out what they like, what they want to engage in the bedroom. Some is fetish, some is anal. I personally won't engage in anal because I know that the muscles in the vagina and that of the anal are different. That of the anus is thinner, and so it can lead to bleeding. It could lead to easy passing of STDs. You know, you could have hemorrhoids. Different things. You may not be able to sit down, and unnecessary pain. The only pain I feel is necessary that one should bear is childbearing. Any other pain is uncalled for. So I will not engage in any of such things. But there are some people who, maybe their husbands now have such preferences. It's something you guys need to talk about. I don't want it, I don't like it, and all that. And then the other partner has to understand. See, that is why you have to have a common ground. You know, where you discuss, okay, why do you now have love for this? What is the problem? You watched it somewhere, somebody told you about it. What is the problem? Why do you want it now? And all that, especially if it wasn't happening in the beginning. Because according to the Central and Center for Disease Control, it was learned that 33%, in fact 45% of people now engage in anal sex, whether we want to talk about it or not. It's now happening. And 33% of women have said they've, out of curiosity, they've tried it once. And 45% of men said out of curiosity, they've also tried. So this is not even a function of gay now. This is a function of between male and female. So it's happening. The fact that we don't talk about it doesn't mean that it's not happening. It's happening. I've counseled people who their husband's new preference, now this is after a marriage of sometimes 5 years, sometimes after 10 years, and the person wants to engage in. Now this percentages were carried out on couples that are less than 45. So you see that it's a growing desire among people. I don't know why the desire is there, but well, it's growing among people, and certain people have engaged and don't like it, or say they can never engage and all that. So you guys need to sit down and talk about those things. You need to sit down and talk. Why do you want this? Why do you want us to try it? Why do you think it will be better? Why don't you want it the conventional way and all that? And then lastly, there's something I want to talk about. It's oral sex, especially for those who are believers, because most believers will tell you that, okay, no, you shouldn't engage in oral sex. In fact, I think I came across in my research that there's some I would like to call them religion, I don't know, maybe sect, I think that's a proper word, that even say foreplay is a sin. This is not even, because oral sex and foreplay are different things. Foreplay is what happens before the actual sex, like what happens that causes arousal before the actual sex, but the other one is different. So most of them say, you know, it's sin, it's wrong. And I begin to wonder, how is it wrong? It wasn't outrightly said in scripture that it's wrong, so I think it's an individual preference. If you want it, whether foreplay or as anyone, it's an individual preference. Because you find out even in Proverbs, and even in Song of Solomon, you find out where they say you should love on your wife's breast. You know, everywhere in Song of Solomon they tell you it's talking mainly about foreplay. So I don't know why people say it's wrong or it's a sin. So if it wasn't expressly said that it's sin, all things are lawful, but they may not be lawful for you. So that is why you sit down and say, oh, do I want this? Don't I want this? And all that. So for oral sex, someone asked me recently, you know, if it's a sin, or if Christian couples should engage in, and I say to each their own. It's an individual preference. If you want it, it's okay. If you don't want it, it's okay. And someone was asking me, oh, if it's healthy and all that. Well, if both partners are not sick, both partners can, you know, take their hygiene seriously, I don't really think there's anything wrong in it. But would you want to engage in it? You and your partner need to discuss about it. And if, for example, you were not doing it before, and all of a sudden a partner wants, like I said, I think I've said in one of the episodes, this thing, desires for sex changes. Some people, it's even in my research also found out that in some households where they have money, or they are doing well, they are quite comfortable, they want to experiment with sex. So you can just find out that someone is relaxed, maybe business is going well, different things are going well, and it just, the person or the people involved, both partners, want to explore or want to try certain things. I don't know where they get those ideas from or where they get those things from, but it happens. So if that is the situation you guys need to sit down and talk at this time. There's no reason for people to be grumpy, for people to be cranky, for people to be irritated, or people not to enjoy themselves. Because you see, I am not saying if your couple, you and your husband or you and your wife don't enjoy themselves, then they will cheat. Some people think that that's the reason, but I've also counseled people that have given monkey in the shadow style, snake in the whatever style, any kind of style, and the people still cheated, both male and female. So those things for me I don't believe it, that it's when you are doing all you ought to do it, but then the person won't cheat. It's not true. People will cheat when they want to. But what I'm saying is you owe it to your partner for sexual satisfaction, and that's why you must sit down and discuss what are your needs now. Like I've said, it for male and female it's different. For females, I could talk more for females because I'm a lady. We're wired differently. Foreplay starts as even before it's time for sex. How you look at the person, what you comment, what you say, how you converse, how you know how much you tell the person you love the person. All those things matter. For a man, it may not really matter when touching starts happening. Okay, you know, the person may be aroused and you can have that. But for a lady, it's more psychological. So all those things happen. That's why if a woman is depressed or there's anxiety, even for a man, some men, they're not able to perform when they're not having money or they're having trouble at work or businesses are down. So all these things, you must be sensitive to your partner to know. It's a mental health issue. You must be sensitive to know and say, what is happening? I don't understand why you're not, you were not performing as you should, or how you used to. Are you worried? What's the problem? People should be concerned. It's not all about sex. You should be concerned. Yes, I understand that you need, to be satisfied sexually, but you should be concerned too, to know why your partner is having this discrepancy, why your partner is no longer interested. Some people, when they are overweight, they say they don't want to have fat sex. So different things. So you must talk to your partner. And you can't force your way. Now I must say this, I'm rounding up, but you can't force your way. When you force your way, especially on the lady or even on the man, people think men can't be raped. They can. The person is saying no, I don't want, I'm not in the mood. Whether male or female, please stop. That is rape. The person has to, all the person's being mind has to be in it. The person has to want it. It doesn't matter that you guys are married. I know some men will say, oh, a paper person, I'm married, you must sleep with me at one time. I like, no, this person is an individual, I'm not a slave. So the person has a right to say, I'm not interested, I'm not in the mood. In fact, statistically, of women said when they come back from work and everything late at night, it's not it for them, but they prefer it early hours of the morning because they would have rested. So you must know what works for your wife. That your colleague is telling you in the office that every night he has sex does not mean you should have every night. Yours could be every afternoon, yours could be in the morning. It doesn't matter. See, timings are different, and how many times you do this, it's not in competition. You're not in competition. It's not, there's nobody coming to give you a trophy for having sex every day. So you and your partner, of course it's also not food. So you and your partner need to discuss and know what is comfortable for you guys, how many times it's comfortable for you guys, and at what timing. Some people like it spontaneously, some people like it planned. Hey, do you? Whatever you like and whatever you're comfortable with, please do. So in this holiday is another time for you guys to enjoy yourself sexually and for you to discuss sexually. I know some people is a taboo, they cannot discuss sex even with their husband or with their wives. Please discuss it. Your wife may not be happy sexually, your husband may not be happy sexually. This is a time for you guys to discuss. Some people even introduce toys into their sexual life, to each their own. Discuss and know what works, what you like, what you don't like, and please be open-minded. Come to a consensus so that you can enjoy your marriage and enjoy sexual satisfaction in your marriage. Please follow me on Facebook and like my YouTube channel, and also follow me on my IG account. Everything will be on your screen now. Bye, and see you next week for another episode.